Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And honestly, man, I just want to say I'm back to recording again. I'm probably going to continuously say that for the next 2 or 3 videos. Maybe because honestly, I just want to let everyone know that I'm back to recording again. New videos are coming out again. And honestly, I figured what better way to really come back into recording than to do a artist review and a new Spotify video that just came out around the 28th last month, July. Like, I'm currently recording on the 28th, so it's like I'm completely back to recording again. But honestly, man, I'm back into recording, and honestly, it feels good to be back doing this again. And I figured what better way to come back to recording than to do a artist review. And honestly, man, it's been a while since I've done these, It's like the last time I done a artist review, it was somewhere around June-ish, something like that. I can't really remember the last time I did an artist review. It's like, I think the last artist review I did was for the Joker, and that shit came out like what's 3 weeks ago for me is July 3rd for the Joker, So that was the last time I did an artist review. And that one was a bit of a process because I had to listen to everything he recorded and like take little notes on everything I thought of every one of his albums. But I'm back again to recording. But before we get into this, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, share it with your family, share it with that one uncle that you don't really like looking at or even talking to, but for some reason, when there's like a family thing going on, you have to feel obligated to say hi to him just to be nice and shit. Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. Share it with him as well, Honestly, it's been a while since I said shit like that. Like, the last time I done a fucking intro like that, it was like when I was still new to recording videos. But yeah, man, be sure to share this video, And honestly, let's just get it cracking. Let's go. For those who don't know, Tech N9ne is definitely one of the most, like, prolific and most talented individuals in the Midwest, or better for those who don't know, in Kansas City. And honestly, man, I've been a fan of Tech N9ne for a very long time, man. Like, I thought that this dude was one of the dopest motherfuckers I've ever heard, So, before I get into any of his albums, let's do a little background check on who he is, One of the most insane and impactful legacies in hip hop belongs to Tech N9ne. He bucked every trend, and not only to a culture, but a whole damn world with strange music. The crazy thing is how far he has come since co-founding Strange Music in 2000. The Kansas City, Missouri rapper has gone from packed Midwest underground shows to the annual Forbes Cash Kings list multiple times, the cover of XXL, the playlist of Sir Elton John and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and national commercials for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Beyond tallying billions of streams and views, he has scored 4 platinum singles, 3 gold singles, and a gold album. He notched 23 countries in the Billboard top album charts and holds the record for most top 10 albums on the rap charts. So clearly, Tech N9ne is absolutely one of the one of the biggest names in hip hop. next to Tupac, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Game, Snoop. Like he is in that top list of just most talked about artists. Um, Tech cracked at the top 5 of the Billboard Top 200 4 times. His collaborators have ranged from Eminem, The Doors, Lil Wayne, Tupac, Boyz II Men, T.I., MGK, and Gary Clark Jr. to Slipknot, Deftones, and Logic. Mainstream went tech when he ignited ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Meanwhile, Complex mused upon how Kendrick Lamar became a star with help from Tech N9ne. He has sold out hundreds of shows as part of a relentless schedule. He also introduced his own craft beer, Boulou, in partnership with KC's own Boulevard Brewery. There's only one way to describe a rapper with a bigger audience than ever, wider shows than ever, and craziest flows than ever, and it's the title of his top 20-second full-length album, Asinine. And honestly, man, like, I have nothing else to say other than, God damn. God damn. Absolutely, like, legendary shit. Alright, so I'm just gonna get into the albums from his earliest shit into the newest one that just came out. Starting off with the 1999 album, Calm Before the Storm. Not really all that great. You know, I wasn't really feeling it all that much, but I understand why a lot of people were really fucking with it. You know, including people like Tupac when they had him feature for the fuck, I can't remember what movie it was. It was he wanted him to feature for the soundtrack for gang related, I believe it was. And honestly, Planet Rock 2K, On Our Way to LA, and Bitch Sickness featuring Fats Buzzolini. These songs really blew up. But not as large as Planet Rock 2K, the Down South mix. That one wasn't one of the biggest songs to really reach out everywhere. And then the 2000 album, The Worst. I never really cared for this one all that much. I was not feeling it at all. I mean, there were just so many songs that I just didn't care all that much for. So, Calm Before the Storm, I'd give it a 5. The Worst, I'd give it a 3. Angelic, which came out in 2001. This one was definitely like an interesting one because it really caught my attention a little bit with songs such as Devil Boy and Einstein Tech N9ne, This Ring, and Twisted featuring the late Roger Troutman. So I'd give Angelic a 7. Celsius, I didn't care all that much. I completely skipped out on this one because I was not feeling anything that was going on with this one. I mean, I think the only song I did like was Be Warned. You know, it's like I thought that this one was pretty decent. You know, it did really give that intricate young Tech N9ne sound. So, for Celsius, I'm not really gonna rate it because I did not really care for it all that much. And then Absolute Power, which came out in 2002. This one, I'd give it a 7 as well. You know, it's like there was a lot of really good songs, and then there were some that I was not really feeling all that much. But with songs such as She Devil featuring D12, Yada Yada, uh, I'm a Player, and the I'ma Tell. With I'ma Tell coming out, that one was really one of the dopest shit that dropped. Then 3 years later, in 2005, he dropped Vintage Tech. Did not care for it, did not want it, did not like it. I mean, it was just not for me, you know? It's like, it felt like a lot of it was just like a pinch of singles, like new singles and a few remixes. You know, so I just did not care for Vintage Tech. And then in 2006, Ever Ready dropped. Everywhere. This shit was everywhere. And it even reached out to people such as E40 and so many other people, you know. Now, originally, Ever Ready was supposed to be a double album, but it's like, I didn't really have the double album, you know. And I think I did get a disc from a friend of mine, which was like titled Strange Music Library or some shit, you know. So it had so many songs such as This Album and some other artists on it, you know. So it was a pretty decent project, you know. But Ever Ready was huge, 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 huge. It was fucking everywhere. Riot Maker was one of the most hardest fucking mosh pit songs that Tech N9ne dropped. Welcome to the Midwest, that one was the dopest one to ever drop as well. Personal favorite. Come Gangster, this one was pretty dope. I was really feeling it. My World featuring Dilemma and Brother Lynch Hung. This one was hard. But This Is Me, this one was perfection. I fucking loved This Is Me. And then 2008, he dropped the album Killer. And this one was another one that really had a lot of songs and a whole lot of like intricate sounds and complexities and just flawlessness, you know. I mean, this shit is like a double disc album, you know. So it was like 32 songs altogether. But honestly, man, I think I would give this one an Ever Ready a an 8, you know, because I was really feeling this one, and these were like one of the prime, like the prime of my interest, you know, when I was really starting to discover Tech N9ne. But there were songs like um, Crybaby, Paint a Dark Picture, Hope for a Higher Power. I Love You But Fuck You, that one was one of my favorites, especially during a breakup that I had, you know, so I had this motherfucker on repeat. Um, and then there was other songs such as Let's Go and One Good Time and Drill Team. Those were like one of the sickest songs on this. But I'd give a a 6, you know, because it was cool, but there was a lot of songs that I was not feeling all that much as I thought I would. KOD, I'd give this shit a fucking 10 out of 10 because this one, it was just amazing, you know, like it really set the mood of what he was going through, and he put everything that he was dealing with and turned it into art. No matter how fucking dark and morbid it sounded, it still came out into like a very enjoyable project. Especially with the last song, the Martini. Like, it really gave me an understanding of everything that was going on. Bad Season, this one was pretty dope. I mean, it had a few, like, it had a few acapellas and stuff and remixes and shit, you know. But it's like, I wasn't really feeling a lot of them on this. And then all sixes and sevens. This is the album that introduced me to Tech N9ne. But honestly, man, I think songs like Technicians, Am I Psycho, He's a Mental Giant, Worldwide Choppers, um, Fuck Food, Delusional, So Lonely, If I Could, Love Me Tomorrow, Mama Name, and Promised Land. So many amazement in this shit, you know. This was fucking phenomenal talent. So, for all sixes and sevens, I'm gonna give this one a. Despite the fact that it introduced me to Tech N9ne and who he was, I'm gonna give this one a a 7 as well. There's actually a fucking album that I don't even see on here. Give me a moment real quick. Okay, so for some reason there was a different like um there was an album I was looking for called Misery Loves Company that came out in 2007. But for some reason I couldn't find that shit. It's like I was looking through the Spotify list thinking like, where the fuck is Misery Loves Company and the Strangulation album and shit. And apparently it was all under the uh, artist named Tech N9ne Collabos. So that was very weird. But Misery Loves Company, this one was the very first album I ever owned that also introduced me to Tech N9ne. So with Misery Loves Company, I'm gonna give this shit a 10 out of 10 as well because there was a lot of nostalgia with listening to this. And again, it was the album that introduced me as well. And then there was the 2009 album Psychology 101. This one was pretty fresh. It was cool. I was really feeling some of it. But it didn't really live up to the dopeness and the potential as Misery Loves Company and all the other prior albums before Psychology 101. And then there was, I think there was another one that came out somewhat after um, all sixes and sevens. There was EBAH, which was like a project that came out before something else came out, you know? So it's like you got this little tiny project to really like build up something else, and then something else came out. So despite the fact that it was only 10 songs, this one was pretty decent as well. I was really feeling it. So I'm gonna give EBAH a 8 as well. You know, it was cool. There was a few songs here that I liked. And then 2012, Boiling Point KOD Collection. This one came out. This one was like a 7-song project, but it was cool. You know, I was really fucking with it. I was really like enjoying every song that dropped on this. Your Liar was fire. Fire in AC, which was like Aurora, Colorado. So that song came out a little bit after the Dark Knight Rises theater shooting, you know? And they did mention that. Should I Kill Her? Hunger. Should I Kill Her? Hunger. Pain on Your Pillowcase. Heavy and Alone. These ones were really interesting to listen to, you know? And then Something Else All Access Edition, which I had to get the deluxe edition, because one, the cover looks so much more badass, and two, like there were so many different, like so many bonuses that came out. There was like 5 songs that came out with the bonus. But the Something Else All Access Edition, this shit was a 10 out of 10 as well, Everything on it was just amazement. And then Therapy, Sessions with Ross Robinson. This one was really different compared to all the other projects that Tech N9ne dropped. But it was amazing because it really gave that rock metal sound to it, including with the first song, Public School, Like that one was really like hard rock and hard metal and just like um like outstanding sounds to it, Like I was really fucking with everything that was on this shit. But honestly, man, there was like so many amazing shit on this. My gosh, there's. I'm sorry, like I'm completely like stuck on a bunch of other shit. Give me one moment. But honestly, there was so many other great shit on this, like Head Now featuring Burns and Recognize from Mayday, Hiccup, Shame on Me, When Demons Come, ILL, and Stop the Sailor. Like, there was a lot of interesting sounds to this shit, but it was enjoyable to listen to. And this I remember so clearly back in high school, like I was a senior when this shit came out in 2015 with the special effects album. And what really made this one so hype is because there was a lot of talk of like the very first Tech N9ne and Eminem featuring together and shit, It's like everyone was talking about it. There were so many fucking like fan made songs with Tech and M until the song officially came out. And it was so fucking dope because before this song came out, there was a song called Worldwide Choppers, which had Yellow Wolf, Twister, Busta Rhymes, like a list of super fast lyrical killers on this shit. So with this one that Eminem featured on, it was like a sequel to the Worldwide Choppers song, but it's just called Speed 'em. And this one was so fucking huge. And there were so many different, like, amazement with this shit, And there were also a lot of, like, features on this shit, such as T.I., Zeus, Hobson, Corey Taylor. I think Corey Taylor was the lead singer for Slipknot or Korn. I can't remember which one. 2 Chainz, B.O.B., Lil Wayne, Eminem, as I said, Ryan Bradley, and then I think this one was the very first song that really introduced Joey Cool. So this album was just astonishing from beginning to end. Like I had this shit on repeat. Several times I played this. Special effects, another 10 out of 10. And then 2016, The Storm came out. I remember seeing a trailer for it, and it was super hyped up. But there was a few songs on this I didn't really care about all that much. But there were some dope songs on this. Like there was Godspeed, Need Jesus, Sriracha, which introduced me to who Jordan Lucas was. Everybody But Me. I Get It Now. Starting to Turn. I think this is the one that had I think it was Korn. I think Jonathan Davis was part of Korn. Again, don't I don't know. But despite the fact that this shit was like 32 songs long for the deluxe, um, I did not really feel the storm all that much, It was decent, So I'm gonna give the Storm a, a 6, because there was a lot of sick shit on this, but nothing that really like had me on my feet. And then I'm like fucking bouncing back and forth with shit. The Gates mix in 2010, I did not really care for it all that much. I'm gonna give the Gates mix um, a 5 out of 5. I wasn't really feeling it all that much. Welcome to Strangeland, 2011. This one was another 7 out of 10 album. It was cool. Had a lot of sick songs on this. For 15 songs, I guess a 7.5 would be like the best I can give it, because there were some I did not really care all that much for. Strangulation. This one came out when I was a junior, I believe it was. I was a junior when Strangulation came out. A lot of dopeness on this, a lot of great shit on this. So I'm gonna give this one a 8, an 8 out of 5, or 8 out of 10. There was a lot of fire on this. Then the sequel, Strangulation Volume 2. This one came out somewhat after special effects came out. And I was really feeling a lot of shit on this. For 23 songs, I probably only liked about like a few. There was a lot of good shit on this. So I'm going to give the Strangulation Volume 2 a 8 and an 8 at best. Strangulation Volume 2 was cool. Dominion, this one was a bit of a letdown. So I'm going to give Dominion a 4. Maybe a 5. A 5 at best. At best. I was feeling some of it. And that one came out in 2017. Strange Rain, I'm just going to fucking completely skip this one because Strange Rain was a bit of a letdown. So I'm going to give that one a 2. There were some good ones on this, but a whole lot of disappointment. And then 2018, one of the biggest albums that really like had me playing the whole thing on repeat, even to a point of like buying a fucking Google card just so I can buy it on Apple Music or Google Play Music because I really had to get my hands on this. And I believe it came out around the time that Revival came out. But I was not feeling Revival all that much, so it was pretty much a waste of money. But honestly, man, Planet, the Deluxe Edition, this shit was just perfection from beginning to end. So I'm gonna give this one a fucking 10 out of 10 out of 10. It was fucking amazement. Nina, another 10 out of 10. This one came out in 2020. Or no, 2019. Sorry. Enter Fear. This came out in 2020. I'm gonna give this one a 7.5. More Fear. I'm gonna give this one, despite the fact that it was only 7 songs, I'm gonna give this one an 8. Because it was cool, but not all that great. Fear Exodus. This one, I'm gonna give this one a 9. Because there was a lot of good shit on this. And this one also came out in 2020. I think Enter Fear, More Fear, and Fear Exodus all came out in 2020. It's like he was just dropping 1, 2, 3, done, done, done. 2021 came out with the very first songs and very first album that introduced a combination of both Tech N9ne and Hush. it was not all that great. I mean, there were some here that were good and all, but not really all that great, you know. So for 2021 Blight, I'm gonna give it a 7, a 7 at best. Asinine. This one was huge, especially because Dwayne The Rock Johnson featured on this album. So for 17 songs, I'm gonna give this one a 8.5. And then finally, with the 2023 album Bliss, well, you're gonna have to watch my Spotify video to hear my thoughts on this. But honestly, man, there was a lot of amazing shit that was released on this album. But other than that, I mean, I think Tech N9ne is without a doubt one of the dopest fucking rappers of this time. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what your favorite album is. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts, you know. If your names or comments ain't down below, then clearly there's something wrong, you know. Because the comment section is always open, you know. So let me know your opinions, you know, or better yet, just fucking say hi, say where you're from, say how you doing, you know. Just fill the comment section with something, you know. I always reply no matter what. You know, I reply no matter what because I enjoy communicating with you guys. So go ahead and comment down below what you think. Like this video, share it, subscribe it, bell it, do all that good shit, you know, because we are growing ever more with the subscribers. And I think that we can really hit possibly a 300 by New Year's Eve. You know, I mean, we're at fucking, what, 200 and, I mean, what are the fucking subscribers at? 270, you know? We can do better than this. So I believe by Christmas or New Year's Eve, we can hit 300. I think it's possible. And if you guys can help me reach 300, I'll do something in return as a way of thanking you guys and showing love and support, you know? So, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.